In this video, we're going to go over the program Edgenuity that is used for credit recovery here at Clearfield High School, and we're going to go over some of the basic elements such as login, how it works, how you can get reporting, and finally how you can support students in this process. So let's first of all talk about the setup of the process of credit recovery here at Clearfield High School. So credit recovery is this idea that the student has failed a course, and so therefore for them to graduate they have to recover that credit. This is not grade replacement, this is recovery. So they'll have that F on their transcript, but once they complete this they'll be able to still have the credit necessarily to graduate. So once students have been identified needing credit recovery, the district has actually created courses in Edgenuity, and the guiding force that they've given for these courses is to be roughly about 16 hours. And you will be able to see that this is a district-created course because in the name of the course, it'll say DSD-CR for credit recovery, and then maybe English 10 Quarter 1. But all of those district-created credit recovery courses will have the same beginning. Now the 16 hours is the maximum amount that a student would need to recover, but we can modify the requirements based upon their grades for the class. The general guidelines that we use is if they were between 50 to 60% on their final grade, we typically attach one standard, which is roughly about 2 hours. Or if they're between 40 to 50%, then we'll attach 2 standards, which is roughly about 4. Between 30 to 40%, we do 3 standards up to 6 hours, and then after that, we usually generally require completion of the whole course. So for some students, it's going to be a smaller course, and other students, it's going to be a larger course based upon what they previously behaved on in that course. One item to note is that if a student had transferred and we don't have scores, we cannot modify the grade. And so typically if that's the case, then students will complete all of the 16 hours for that credit recovery. This is a good chance for us to clarify between credit recovery and original credit. So credit recovery is where they've taken the course already and have failed. Original credit means they've never taken the course, and that is significantly larger of a course, typically above 30 hours, because they've not necessarily been exposed to this information and therefore need to learn it for the first time. Edgenuity setup is pretty simple and it typically follows the same pattern. Students will be given a pretest, and we, for credit recovery, set that threshold at 60%. And then depending, if they pass the pretest, they'll just go to the next standard. If they do not pass it, then they go and they are exposed to videos that have different activities or other elements to it. And then at the end of that, they're expected to take a quiz that they need to pass at 60%. And so 60% really is the threshold that we use for credit recovery. 60% passing on the pretest. If they don't, then they watch the videos and learn, and they're expected to get above 60% on the quiz before they can move on. Students can be given multiple turns on the quiz before they get to that threshold of 60%. So let's first of all go over the basics of how to log in. And the login process is the same for you as it is the students. To get to Edgenuity, you go to Office 365. Now the first time you do this, you probably will not see the app Clever, and so if that's the case, then you just type in the word Clever into the search bar, and then it should pop up and you select Clever. Once you've done this once or twice, that Clever app will actually start to appear in your Office 365 bar as one of your frequented apps. Once you select Clever, it'll take you to this app page, and then you should specifically find the Edgenuity app located there as well. And then you're going to click on the Edgenuity app. Once you get to this Welcome to Edgenuity page, there's several things that you can access. If you click on student, it's going to give you a search bar, and you can type any student's name that you're looking for. So if we were looking for a specific student, you would type in their name, and then their name will appear along with any courses that have been assigned to them. And so you can see, for in this case, this student is assigned to 2 math course recovery credits. And then on the right side, you'll notice that it'll let you know if that student has started it, is working through it, or it'll say complete when finished. If you click on the course's name, you'll be able to see in detail what is set aside for this student. And so you can see here that in this case, the student is assigned to a couple of different contents. And typically it'll let you know where that student is at along the way. As they're taking quizzes, if they struggle, you may also view the answers to these quizzes if you select where on the quiz that you're looking at, and you can then click on view the answers to the quiz. You can also create groups, and this is very, very helpful when it comes to instruction. And so if you click on students, it's going to let you manage students. So you click on manage, and then you're going to create some user groups. Why would you want to create a user group? A user group is any students that you want to check on a consistent basis without looking at the list of thousands of students that are listed here at Clearfield High School. And so when you can create a group, so let's say it's by period, or if you're mentoring them, you can create a group that is listed as your mentor students. But you can, once you add that group, then you can add any new groups. You can add as many as you want. Once you've added it, you can click on the group and you can add students to that group. This becomes very helpful when you want to see how they're progressing. Once you create the group, you can then go to reports, and then you would be able to select what group you are specifically wanting to look at, and then you will see below, it will let you know how much time they've been on it, what percent, how much they've completed, how much farther they have to go along the way. So this way, instead of searching for students individually, you'll be able to search within a group of students in a very good visual where it's green, yellow, and red, so that you can see how students are progressing along the way. Your job is, of course, to be an advocate for these students. So what does that mean? A couple of things that we found that is helpful is, first of all, remind them about the power of the pretest. If they take a pretest and pass it above 60%, then they will actually skip the video activities and additional quiz for it and move to the next item. This can significantly shorten a student's credit recovery if they already know that information. Encourage them to take notes. Encourage them to limit distractions on what is around them. And if they struggle with those end quizzes, you can still help. You obviously don't want to give them the answer, but you can sit next to them and provide guiding questions or give them ideas of what approach they should take with this test question. This is in essence an open note, open person quiz. And so you have the ability to help them along the way. We hope you feel that you're not alone in this, as we all want to make students succeed, and we all hope that we can work together as a team to make that a possibility. So with that in mind, there's a couple of individuals that'll be a really good contact for questions along the way. First and foremost, the counselors really are the individuals that have set up these courses. They're the ones who have identified what these students need. And so if you have additional questions as what courses are needed or anything like that, please do not hesitate to reach out to their assigned counselor. Stacy Fong works in the Gear Up office, and she will be the one that modifies and uploads the courses. So if you have questions as how long this course is, or what if this course isn't showing up even though that student says they need it, she would be the person that you would want to contact for any of those questions for modifying and uploading courses. Also in the Gear Up office, Shay Brown will be the one who will be recording the completed courses. So once students complete these courses, she will actually go through and mark and then give that information to the registrar, so Krista Anderson. And so you don't have to worry about doing anything after the student has completed the course, but if you have questions on how that is being recorded, you can touch bases with Shay Brown in the Gear Up office as well. Any questions, please do not reach out to any of the counselors or to myself, and we are excited to be able to work through this together.